It's January the 16th. It's a Monday. It's coming up to 7 a.m. New York time. On the high time frame analysis, so we start with the daily. We're still currently in a decline. Price hasn't broken this low, formed a new lower low. So I can't consider this as bullish at the moment. Price has to go higher than this high for me to consider daily, at least, being bullish. On the 4 hour, we've had this steady grow incline. We're in markup. We're still in bullish. Price needs to close below this low, I would say. So moving the eye now to here. I want to see price come all the way down there for this to turn to decline. On the hour, we've had a break of structure, so there's been a market shift, and I'm anticipating price to come back and retest this area. We have our 4 hour supply level marked out by this order block that we have here, but that's a bearish pin bar and a bearish engulfing bar. The 1 hour, very similar in the area, it's more refined. We have definite engulfing bar here, but also there's fair value underneath. So that lines up on the midterm. So feels to me like the shift has started. Last week, this whole area was CPI news. The outcome of CPI was negative. And so feels to me like the market's starting to turn. It takes time for it to turn. It's like a shipping container. And we draw down into the 30-minute, marked out the break of structure that's formed midterm on the 1 hour. We drop into the 15-minute. Clearly see the 1 hour break of structure. We have a drop, a base, and a drop, which here we have an engulfing, bearish engulfing bar. So I've marked out that on the 15-minute candle, and price is currently on a retracement, I would say, back into this area. As soon as price hits it, I've marked out two possible outcomes. One is we see a bearish candle on the 5-minute around this engulfing, bearish engulfing, or number two is we get a 5-minute break of structure and we'll enter in on the retest. So I'm anticipating number one to form. If it doesn't, if I miss that, then I'll go for the retest on the break of structure, at least on the 5-minute. In terms of what we see here on the 5-minute, I'm trying to get to it, find it there. Prices come back into now the optimal trade entry. It's currently hit the fair value gap, so this would be a valid entry point at this point on the ICT stuff, with a stop at this high, seeking for price to come down. If I was to place that around this area, so it looks like we're about to see a break of structure. If we do see that, I could possibly get in on the retest. So around here, that would be the stop would be at the top. I was just trying something out here. If I put it at the low, that's 1.7 to 1, so they don't really work from that side of things. We want to see price come all the way down. Let's have a look at this one. That's 2. So we need a tighter stop, I think. It's too early to say what's going to happen. I want to see price come up leads to this 15-minute candle. That gives me a tighter spread on my stop loss and take profit, so I can bring it the take profit to these lows that formed here. So this would be like a market maker sell model effectively, and that gives me about a 5-to-1 reward to risk for today. Just waiting to see what happens on this price action right now. So it's currently 7 o'clock New York time, and need to keep my eye now on what price action is doing. Okay, it's now coming up to 10 to 8 New York time. And my initial analysis brought my attention on the 5-minute to this this area that I've marked out by the 30-minute and 15-minute candle. In hindsight, I didn't have the SIBI marked up on the 1 hour. So we could see a clear drop, a basing candle and drop, which formed the break of structure. Now on my pattern recognition, this is the fractal theory that I've got. This first market maker sell model here generates or creates a breaker, but what normally happens is you get a rebound off the support level, and this creates phase 1 of a market maker sell model on the higher time frame. So this is the higher time frame market maker sell model. This is what we're seeking in terms of the target later on in the take profit. So it creates a breaker, phase 1, and it's phase 2 when it returns to the breaker is the entry point. Now that measurement between phase 1 and the breakout should be at the 62%. So I could potentially put that on this as a descriptive bit, because it's the bit that's missing from the process. But nonetheless, price being fractal, what I've seen. So if I just go through this very quickly, this is the 15-minute, but we've got the 1 hour fractal playing out. We have the break of structure on the 1 hour, which was formed by this basing candle, and this is the phase 1 distribution. We get a measurement from the high to the low, and we find premium in this area and discount in this area. So this that we see here, this forms the top of our dealing range on, and it creates a new fractal. We have a market maker buy model just by here, and we have a new market maker sell model forming, as I can see right now. We have the lows here, so this would be our kind of first target. And zooming out, the next target is this this low that we got down here on the 30-minute, and that would be the 4 hour break. As soon as the 4 hour breaks, we're back into the higher time frame narrative, where the daily is currently in decline. 4 hours currently a markup. 1 hour has shifted to decline. And as we drill into this now, my initial analysis, where I've placed this blue line, is actually in this area here. So I have a drop, a base drop on the 5-minute, and price has come up into that premium end. I've marked the fib out, and it's within that kind of 62%, between 62% and 79% retracement. The candle does form we have we do have here on the 15-minute an evening star, and on the 5-minute we get another break of structure just by here with two. Get this out of the way a second. Two bearish pin bars. Price breaks, comes back down. This is phase 1 delivery on a lower time frame. So we've got a market maker sell model playing out here at the moment. And so I placed a limit order after this had played out. I thought, oh damn it, I've missed it. I placed the limit order here, and then I started to look at it, and I'm seeing what's happening. The phase 2 on the higher time frame becomes another market maker sell model on the lower time frame. The break of structure on the 5-minute, this forms phase 1 on a lower time frame. So we've now got a pullback. This is phase 2 of the lower time frame. And I'm anticipating price to now drop. I did place a limit order. Oh balls, where did I go? And you can see it's taken me in. I placed it on the high, I didn't quite get it accurate enough. But we have a drop, base drop by that. So I placed it up here just to be conservative. I'm anticipating price to drop, so I've gone in as a sell. It'd be interesting to see what happens. I just happened to I thought I'd missed it, but I just placed a limit sell in that area, and we'll go from that. Okay, it's now 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. New York time. I didn't actually realise that today, it looks like in America at least, it's a holiday today. And when I jump down into the lower time frames, you'll see that price just went pretty flat the last couple of hours. Scratched my head on that for a while, and I thought, you know, it must be a holiday or something. I didn't see anything in the news. I don't think it marked it as a holiday, but I've switched off the filters. So if yeah, bank holiday. I just switched the filter on. So obviously whenever there's a holiday, price goes really quiet, so it wasn't a particularly great day to trade, in all honesty. But anyway, let's go through it. So one of the things I have noticed on the 4-hour, when I joined the webinar yesterday, this area here on the 4-hour was considered a zone, supply and demand. You can see how price interacted with this area, and it has responded to it. Now on the 1-hour, I did refine that ever so slightly, and what I noticed this morning was we had a high, a low, a high, and then a break of structure. Initially on the lower time frames, I was looking at this area down here as a potential get-in. Now what I should have done was base it on the high and the low of this downwards move, and you can see here this green area is a fib. You can see just by that, and that's the 62 to 79% retracement. Now as price has hit that, We also have the Sunday opening, which is this blue horizontal line. We had a SIBI going down, so there's lots of downwards movement, all downwards candles, and the break of structure by here. So there's definitely a lot of imbalance in the market today. Price came back up to the Sunday open, and that was in line with the 62 to 79% retracement. On the lower time frame, this is the 30-minute. So you can see by here, I saw this this candle and this drop base and drop. This being a bearish engulfing bar. We did have this one up here as well. So on the 15-minute, I marked this area as a break of structure as well, 15-minute break of structure. As the price came down, it's pulled back to that break of structure, and as soon as we got to here, then on the 15-minute side of things, we saw bearish pin bars. So I'm almost inclined to filter out everything else apart from bearish pin bars in this region, because down here we didn't really have a pin bar, and granted it's in the wrong area anyway. I possibly could have ignored that. So the first trade was taken out. I got back in around this area, and I saw the pin bar in 15-minute. I was like, I'm in. The trade's still open. Price since then on the 5-minute has produced a break of structure, 5-minute break of structure, and retraced back to about 79% retracement on this high and that low. So if I was to put a fib on that now, you can see how price pulled back into it, and that was the phase 2. So phase 1 of the distribution was just by here. Then we have a phase 2 just by here, and since then price has dropped back down. My sentiment on this is bearish still. We've had a break structure on the 1 hour. I think that's adequate enough for me to anticipate price to get down to this where I put the eye. Now bear in mind, this is an area of support and resistance. We could see this, even this bit here, which is miles away at the moment, be reacted to tomorrow. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and see what happens.